Recently, we had a content creator, Dan O'Keefe, that dropped a message confirming that he had seen footage of Jay Slater being tortured. Since then, haven't heard anything. Seems like he has vanished off the face of the earth. Was Dan just trying to gain traction for his YouTube channel? If he was, it was an absolutely disgusting way to do it. What I want to bring your attention to is the statements and how these statements are using the fabricated pictures as a point of reference. As an example, when Ayub gives his statement, Ayub refers to the blanket, the cigarettes, and he refers to the charger. Now, the charger is what's going to connect Lucy's story. I do believe Ayub would have been the person to spearhead this story. He would have given people their roles and he would have come up with the idea of fabricating those pictures. Lucy's side of the story doesn't make any sense. She references him being cut by a cactus, and we can only assume that means that he was cut by something else. What Lucy instantly done was distance herself from Ayub, but also distance herself from the situation that took place with Jay. However, how she made the story connect was based on the 1% battery. 1% battery doesn't make any sense because all of the actions that Jay would have taken on that day, he would have definitely needed more than 1%. Another thing that Lucy said is that she found the Airbnb based on the picture that Jay put on his Snapchat. Another picture that was added to Jay's Snapchat was him in the back of the car. Ayub again used that picture as a reference by saying he had footage of him and Jay laughing at Rocky in the back of the car. But since then, all he's released is an audio. I've done a comparison with Brad's voice, and I do apologize for not bringing it to your attention. It is similar, but it's not identical. So again, when you look at the statements are referencing the pictures that they fabricated. When you ask them what their side of the story is, they have to think about the pictures that they fabricated in order for them to remember their side of the story. And Ayub is instantly going to go to the blanket picture. He's going to tell you about the red blanket. He's going to tell you about giving him cigarettes. And he's also going to mention a charger because that's extremely important, because Lucy's going to tell you that he's only got 1% battery on his phone. Those 3 points is what enables Ayub to remember his side of the story. Remember, we've had conflicting information from Ayub. Whether Jay lost his key, he gave his key to Brad. He wasn't too sure because that's something that he hadn't reiterated to himself in his own head. He wasn't too sure whether Jay lost his key or Brad took the key. But he quickly cleaned that up by saying Brad took the key without saying Brad took the key, because that gives Brad his alibi. And remember, all of their stories give each other alibis other than Brandon, and they all point the finger to Jay to say Jay was the problem. This is all on Jay. What makes it worse is seeing the last bit of footage of Jay, knowing the state that he was in, knowing that he went to Tenerife with Brad. He didn't go with Brad and Lucy. No. He went with just Brad. Brad took him there. But knowing what state your friend was in, you decided to stand up and say, give me the key because I want to go back to the apartment. And Rachel covers Brad's side of the story by saying Brad said to Jay, no, come with me because I don't want to go back to the hotel by myself. But Jay had other ideas. Jay that was waved out of his face. Jay that looked like he was pleading for help. He had other ideas. Now, this video has been sent over to me. Extremely interesting takes here. This is the Guardia Civil talking about the routes and where they're searching in the mountains. This is whilst looking for Jay. Let's listen to it.
There's something we need to make clear, which is that any area we don't go to, well, Jay won't have gone there either. You have to think about it logically. If I see there's vegetation in front of me and I'm going to get spiked and I can't get through, then he won't have gone through that area either. We have to be logical, obviously.
Can you reach the sea directly from the area you are searching?
You can reach the sea. In fact, last Saturday I went along the whole path. There are old paths which are only occasionally used because it's a cliff with very little attraction for sporting purposes. But you can reach the beach along them. So I reached the beach. We didn't find anything. It's a path that goes above and not along the bottom of the cliff. It has drops, and what's needed are ropes to get down. And we also know he was not equipped for that.
And that's kind of what Chris Tenerife was pointing out, that he would need ropes to get down to wherever Jay's body was. Now, what this guy does confirm, however, is that there's routes, there's paths that you walk along. So there would be no need for a rope to have to go down, because like he confirmed, as long as he stays on that path and continues to walk, it will take him to the beach. So how did Jay fall off? How did he go off path? Why did he go off path and needs to drop down a cliff? He knows he wouldn't have had the equipment. He knows that he wouldn't have had the attire. It just doesn't make any sense. You are just trying to get to the beach. Why are you dropping down cliffs? That wouldn't make any sense, especially when the path takes you down to the beach, as it's confirmed here. You got to think the Damascus Mountains have been there for ages. Therefore, it has been designed over the years for humans to be able to use the routes from one side of the mountain to get to the other. So there's clear routes and paths on this mountain. There's clear ways of getting from the beach to the Airbnb side of it. On that basis, as long as Jay stuck to the routes, he would have no issues with getting to the beach. But the issue that Jay allegedly faced is that he tried to climb down the cliffs. He didn't want to stick to the routes. He was trying to get down quicker. Now, that doesn't make any sense to me because that seems like he was panicking. He was in a rush. He was desperate. This is a guy that was allegedly just going to the shop to buy some cigarettes. Even that, just allegedly going to the shop to buy cigarettes. When did that come into the picture? Because we were told initially by Ayub that he was woken up by a buzzer. They went outside. He got into the car to move his car, and Jay started wandering off after speaking to the lady. He told Ayub that he could get a bus every 10 minutes, and he decided to walk. Ayub said he can't get a bus, and he was adamant that he can. Okay, cool. Where did pop into the shop to buy some cigarettes come into the frame? Was that the side of the story that was kind of painted to the family to make it look like we're not guilty of doing a crime here, that your son just wanted to go to the shop and buy some cigarettes? What doesn't make any sense to me is if that's official, why didn't they buy cigarettes at the pit stop when they bought the Pepsis and the water? You're telling me that shop wasn't selling cigarettes? What happened to the box of Camel cigarettes that Ayub gave to Jay? You're telling me there was only one cigarette in the box? See, all of these bits and pieces doesn't make any sense. This guy from the GC is confirming that there are routes from the top of the mountain, from the Airbnb, from all parts of that mountain that take you down to the beach. There is no reason for Jay to be going any other way. There's a route that's been designed for us for a reason. That's the route that anyone in their right mind would take. Now, people are going to say, but Jay wasn't in his right mind. Listen, Jay wouldn't have walked that route if he wasn't in his right mind. He would have stayed put out of the Airbnb. He would have smoked the cigarettes that he was given by Ayub. He would have drunk the water that Rocky would have needed because he loves to drink water, as he's already told us in his live streams. But he would have had the water in the Pepsis that Ayub claimed that they got from the pit stop regardless. So if he was really out of his nut, he wouldn't have went anywhere. As long as he felt safe and comfortable, he would have stayed at that Airbnb. If you're telling me he didn't feel safe and comfortable, then that's a different story. But as far as Ayub is telling us, he had no reasons to be scared. He had no reasons to fear for his life. Maybe when Ayub said he might have things going on in his own head, he's referring to seeing people in Tenerife that he's got troubles with, that he's got problems with.
How difficult are the difficult areas?
There are rocky drops that you cannot get beyond. You can only get down with a harness and ropes.
Exactly. So how did Jay get down there? How did Jay get down there? Make that make sense.
The people searching that spot today will have to turn around, I think, because they don't have the necessary equipment. And anyway, the best that Jay could do was simply to walk.
Talking, it says the best thing Jay could have done was just to walk along those paths. Walk along the routes, it would have taken you directly to the beach. If you would have come from the beach, stick to the routes, it would have taken you directly up the mountain to that Airbnb. That's basically what this guy is confirming. Only a man that's ready to commit suicide would do anything else. That is basically what he is referring to. You need a harness. You need ropes to get down those cliffs. Why would Jay be down there? Why? If that's where they found the body, why would Jay be down there? Because if I'm looking to go to the shop or if I'm looking to go to the beach and I come to a part where it's like, oh, damn, like I definitely can't get down there, then I'm sticking to the routes. You're telling me, Jay looked at it and said, no, actually, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, this is a piece of piss.
Brad's mom, Rach, also let this slip in her live.
I'm here, yeah, and I've done things, haven't I? The truth will come out if it needs to come out, won't it?
Proof will come out when it needs to come out, won't it? Same lady that basically said the truth sits with us. The truth sits with us, but we've got Warren still asking for the truth. We've got Warren still looking for answers. Why would Warren still be looking for answers? Is that because you haven't told him the truth?
Rach also revealed in her previous live she speaks to Debbie daily, and many sleuths suggest that she might be trying to control Debbie like she allegedly has throughout the search.
I want to quickly add that when she mentions I speak to Debbie, she does that with her lips. She does something with her lips. I noticed that when she is saying something that is untruthful, she does that with her lips.
Yeah, I see Debbie every day.
Right, see that? You see what she did with her lips? Yeah, I see Debbie every day. Doing that with her lips because she's saying something that is untrue.
So I'll be back at 8 o'clock and I'll do some out cooking with everyone and give everyone some ideas.
So allegedly, Rach was the first person ever to set up the GoFundMe for Jay, and these texts allegedly from Rach say, quote, "I know where Jay is, but can I tell anyone this? No, then I will get took. We need 30K by Monday morning. Lucy needs to hurry up and transfer the GoFundMe money to pay."
It says here, Lucy, this is from the start. It was a stupid decision in the drunken environment. I want Jay home too. She messed up and people are finding out. It's all going bad. She needs to hurry up and transfer that GoFundMe money to pay. Then Jay can come home. I just need her to hurry. I hate seeing him like this. Seeing him like what? This is meant to be Rachel, allegedly. I don't know how true this is. It doesn't make any sense. What is she talking about? I hate seeing him like this. Seeing him like what? Does that connect with what Dan O'Keefe has said that he saw?
Ayub has since made comments that are raising a few red flags in the cyber sleuth community. In one instance, Ayub throws Ophelia, the Airbnb cafe owner, under the bus. One sleuth writes, "You slipped up many times. The hills have eyes, you said. Come on, people on you." He responds, "Yeah," explaining how Ophelia and husband and son, what I thought him to be, looked like Hills Have Eyes characters. The son's shirt was halfway up his belly and was randomly rolling with a wheelbarrow.
Wow. You saw Ophelia, her husband, and a kid that had a shirt way up his belly. Oh, get out of here, man. These men are just crazy delusional dons. You definitely didn't see that. You said what you said, bro. And now you're trying to act like you said it because, oh, I see her husband and her son, and it reminded me of the characters from the movie. You can't say things and then try and backtrack by saying some dumb shit like this.
Sleuth replies, "Haha, trying to cast it back off to the film. No, we understood the first time, quack." Ayub mentioned the movie The Hills Have Eyes in one of his past live streams, which is based on the Scottish legend of Sawney Beam from the 1600s. Sawney and his family would take people from the street beside his home, capture them, then take their body parts and eat them. That is chilling because Jay allegedly disappeared from the road beside the B&B. And someone suggested that Jay's body parts were harvested and sold, since there is CCTV footage of people carrying white boxes to a boat the night he disappeared. And Debbie, in her Sun News interview, also said that some of Jay's still needs to be repatriated or brought back to the UK. So Jay's body was possibly separated. Possibly his organs are still left behind.
Things that they've kept for the post-mortem in Tenerife that we're still going to have to arrange for repatriation again.
The Canary Islands is known for organ transplants, and Spain is a world leader in this area. So, was Jay's organs sold to pay off a debt, as sleuths have wildly speculated?
When we're talking about paying off a debt, we need to understand what that debt is. I'm starting to believe the debt is for the cover-up. The debt is for a get-out-of-jail-free card. That's what the debt is. But this statement here from Ophelia is literally the glue holding this whole narrative together. It wasn't for Ophelia's statement. Everyone else in this case, we're talking Ayub, Bradley, Lucy, they would have all been number one suspect. Couldn't have easily gone down as a missing persons case. Someone involved had the influence over Ophelia to convince her to say this statement off camera. It was the easiest statement that anyone could have made without any repercussions, without any follow-ups. It's a simple statement. I see the kid and I see him 10 minutes later. It's a very simple statement. But who is the person that's had all of this influence over this poor old lady?
Roman. Roman. Sleuth Sinclair discovered the B&B is allegedly owned by the disgraced mayor of Tenerife, Roman, who many have suggested was there at the NRG rave the night Jay disappeared.
And that is a picture of him at the NRG festival. If he was at the NRG festival, what is he doing there? What is this guy doing at the NRG festival? This is a guy that is a family man. This is a guy that likes to go running. This is a guy that likes to go for hikes. This is a guy that does marathons. He does cross-country runs. What is he doing at NRG festival with a bunch of kids from Lancashire? As I said in one of the last videos, people are suggesting that there was a number of people that was observing Jay. They were watching him. This was premeditated. They knew what they were going to do with Jay, and this man right here the guy that is the ex-mayor, the guy that potentially had the influence on Ophelia. This is the guy that more or less would have directed the narrative. Was this the guy that had the people in place to take Jay straight to the operational theater? What is this guy's role? People say, how can these little kids cover it up? This man on the screen would be the way they covered it up. This would have been the guy that had the influence over Ophelia. This would have been the guy that would have been able to translate what he needed Ophelia to do. And this would have also been the person that would have had the influence over the GC, and he would have been adamant to them that it's a missing persons case. He just needed Ophelia to say what she said, and bang, the cover-up is on.
And bizarrely kept popping up throughout the search.
Look at him. He's popping up throughout the search. What are you doing? Why are you about? The agent of an Airbnb. People believe that Chris Tenerife was brought in to help clean up the story. Is it funny how he's an agent of properties and Chris Tenerife's a property developer, allegedly? Ladies and gentlemen, that was extremely interesting. I need you guys to comment down below and let me know your thoughts right now. Make sure we hit that like button. Do subscribe to the channel if we are new. Turn the notification bells on. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.